one, 1 minute while we get the technical issues going. Hi. Thank you. Call to order the meeting of April 21st, 2025 of the West Windsor Township Council. Allison, can you call the roll, please?
Gawas. Here. Jeevers.
Here.
Andel.
Here.
Weiss.
Here.
Whitfield.
Here.
And have we adequately noticed?
Yes, on January 17th, 2025, to the Times in the Princeton Packet, filed with the municipal clerk, posted at the West Windsor Municipal Building and on the township website. Please stand for the salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Since there are no ceremonial matters, I'm going to open public comment at this time. Is there anybody on the list of it?
Yes, I do have a Gay Huber. Please come forward and state your name and address.
Good evening. I'm Gay Huber, 29 Old Bear Brook Road, Vice President of the Historic Society of West Windsor. The Historic Society of West Windsor Recreation, the Bicycle and Pedestrian Alliance, the Community Farmers Market, the West Windsor and Princeton Junction Volunteer Fire Companies, the Lions Club, and the Arts Council have all been working together for the past several months in coordinating events for the 2026 of our nation's 250th anniversary. During 2025, there will be some kickoff events. The first event we are holding is a contest for a logo for Revolution West Windsor. This contest started yesterday and will run till June 1st for entries to be submitted. The winner will be announced at this year's Township Picnic to be held on June 14th. For additional details on this contest, please visit westwindsorhistory.com/REVWW. Please visit the website to see all the other upcoming events as well. In addition, the Society would like to thank the Mayor, Council, and Administration for their continued support towards the Historic Society, and we support Resolution 2025 R111 on this evening's agenda for additional funding for the historical architect. Again, I want to thank all of you for your continued support of the Historic Society of West Windsor, and I'd like to ask that you all continue to share your posts on the upcoming events. I'd also like to introduce two other members, Peter Leggetti and Regina Honore of the Historical Society, both directors. Thank you.
Thank you, Gay. Is anyone else on the list?
I don't have anyone else on the list.
Does
Is there anyone else that would like to give public comment?
Once, if nobody else wishes to give public comment, I will close public comment and go into administration comments.
I have several announcements this evening. The first is the Health Department will be hosting a free rabies clinic this Thursday, April 24th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Princeton Junction Firehouse, 245 Clarksville Road. To register, please use the link in news and notices on the website or on the Health Department page. Each animal must be registered separately. Dogs must be on a secure leash, no longer than 6 feet. Retractable leashes are not allowed. Cats must be in a suitable carrier to prevent escape. Purses, pillowcases, or cat leashes are not allowed. West Windsor Shade Tree Commission will present an Arbor Day celebration, What the Trees See, this Saturday, April 26, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Ron Rogers Arboretum. The annual Memorial Day Parade and ceremony will be held on Monday, May 26th at 11 a.m. Line up for the parade will be at 10:30 a.m. at the West Windsor Plainsboro High School South parking lot. And as the representative from the West Windsor Historical Society indicated, there are a lot of new and upcoming events. Please check out their website, including the new page, Revolution West Windsor, dedicated to honoring the United States, turning 250 years young next year. And the Historical Society, in conjunction with the Arts Council, will be launching a logo contest to be used in Revolution West Windsor celebrations. Detailed information will be linked on the township website and can be also found on the Historical Society's website. The West Windsor Fire Marshal has provided an update on state code affecting the Uniform Fire Code. The change now prohibits the use of certain landscape materials, such as the use of wood mulch within 18 inches of buildings and structures such as decks. Additional information is under news and notices and on the Fire and Emergency Services webpage. This update is for all buildings except 1- and 2-family owner-occupied homes. However, the restriction on the use of mulch and combustible materials does apply to single-family homes that are not owner-occupied, such as rentals. And I don't think there are many of those. And Public Works is in Zone 3. So.
Thank you, Marlena. Mayor?
Thanks. Welcome, Marlena,
Thank you.
to the council meeting. She has been coming to the office last several weeks. She's coming to the first council meeting after a while. So welcome. So I don't have any specific comments, but I would just like to acknowledge passing of 2 individuals, one local and one international, that have impacted our lives. Steve Janney, a longtime resident of West Windsor and a lifetime resident of Mercer County area, passed away on April 8th. He was an integral part of the community and an example of people who make West Windsor so special. He gave freely not only to West Windsor, but to the greater farming community. He served on the West Windsor Planning Board, was Assistant Scoutmaster and Scoutmaster of Troop 40, and served on the West Windsor Agricultural Advisory Committee for many, many years until his health made it difficult. He farmed many properties in West Windsor. He will be missed by all. On behalf of all residents of town, I offer our condolences to the family. Last night, Pope Francis passed away of a stroke. He was a humble reformer who worked to make the Catholic Church more inclusive. He was not afraid of speaking out on important issues. As the leader of approximately 1.4 billion Baptist Catholics, Pope Francis reached out to followers of other religions, pushing for interfaith solidarity, as he made more than 45 international trips. My condolences to the members of the Roman Catholic Church.
Thank you, Mayor. Going now to council member comments. Linda, would you like to go first?
Tomorrow, April 22nd, from 6 to 8 p.m. in Room B here in the municipal building, Andrea and I will be having office hours for any members of the public that would like to speak with us about any questions, issues, any suggestions for the township. So we're doing this as part of our volunteer outreach to the community and doing it as president and vice president. Gay already talks about the Revolution West Windsor, so that's very exciting. I think pretty soon Andrea, as president, will confirm that there'll be a group presentation.
We're trying to schedule something for the next meeting, so there'll be a resolution tying this to Revolution, New Jersey, which is the umbrella organization.
Right. So we're all excited. That's good. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it's a good celebration. It's going to bring a lot of people in town together, a lot of groups together working on this. So thanks for mentioning about the kickoff today. This Saturday, April 26th, it'll be, I'm told they changed it to 9:30 a.m. at the Ron Rogers Arboretum. The Shade Tree Commission will lead our township's Arbor Day celebration. I believe this is the 45th year that we are a Tree City USA township, so we're proud of that. The commissioners have put together a wonderful program and will announce the winners of the K through 8th grade art contest. And then after the program, a memorial plaque will be dedicated in front of a linden tree there in honor of Dr. Ron Slin. My thanks to the Muslim Center of Greater Princeton for inviting me and my colleagues to a wonderful Eid celebration dinner on April 10th. So it's always good to talk with members of the mosque about our shared community values of working together and bringing about hopes for a more peaceful world. On April 15th, I attended the wake for Steve Janney, who was a longtime resident, as the mayor mentioned. And I remember him as serving with him on the planning board, and he was quite active also in farming issues in state committees at the state level. So I extended our sympathies to his family on behalf of the mayor and council, and we will certainly miss him. The West Windsor Lions Club had their annual Easter egg hunt in Community Park last Saturday. So there were hundreds of children and family members who attended and had a lot of fun. Thanks to the West Windsor Police Department for having 2 officers provide security, and to the West Windsor Volunteer Fire Company for giving the Easter Bunny a ride to the park. So the weather held out. So it was the rain delay date. But the weather held out, so that worked very nicely. And lastly, as a Catholic, it is a very sad day as we learned of the death of Pope Francis. He will be remembered for his commitment to helping the weakest in society and embracing people of all faiths. May his calls for peace throughout the world come to fruition. My condolences to members of the Roman Catholic Church. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Dan?
Thank you. This past week, I attended the first International Robotics Competition in Houston. FIRST, which is an acronym that stands for First Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, is a global nonprofit that empowers young people through hands-on STEM experiences. Founded in 1989 by inventor Dean Kamen, FIRST provides robotic programs for students from kindergarten all the way through high school, fostering innovation, teamwork, and problem-solving skills. With a mission to prepare students for the future, FIRST competitions challenge teams to design, build, and program robots while promoting values like gracious professionalism, collaboration, and community participation. By engaging with mentors, industry professionals, and peers, students gain real-world skills that inspire careers in STEM and beyond. West Windsor had 2 teams representing us in 2 different leagues. Don't Blink is a community FTC team supported by the Princeton STEM Academy, and Midnight Inventors is a West Windsor Plainsboro School District supported FRC team. And to give you an idea of the enormity of achieving a spot to compete in the World Championships, there are 9,000 FTC teams worldwide, and only 2% are invited to the FTC World Championship. So congratulations to all the students who participated, and a special congratulations to the Don't Blink team, who earned the prestigious Inspire Award, which is the highest judges award given to the team that best embodies the FIRST Tech Challenge program. On another note, I've had a lot of conversations over the past month with members of our community who are truly concerned and frightened about current events in our country and around the world. And I share their concerns. And when they ask me, what can I do? I remind them to use their voice, that speaking the truth brings power, and to join local organizations whose mission it is to help others. And many communities just finished celebrating the Easter and Passover holidays, where Jewish families, like my own, gathered to retell the Passover story. We retell the ancient account of liberation from bondage to our children, not just to remember the past, but to examine the present. We recall how Pharaoh, out of fear and insecurity, enslaved the Israelites and sought to strip them of their humanity. We tell this story not as a distant myth, but as a living narrative. It reminds us that memory is not merely heritage. It is a form of resistance. It's a moral imperative to recognize when others are still in chains and to speak out when oppression repeats itself. Passover is more than just a ritual of a spiritual reflection. It's a call to action. 80 years ago, in 1945, my great uncle, Josef Weiss, observed Passover inside the Nazi concentration camp of Bergen-Belsen, where he was imprisoned. Approximately 50,000 people died in the Bergen-Belsen camp. Among them was the most well-known child diarist, Anne Frank. After his liberation and recovery from typhus, he wrote a letter to his surviving family, who were scattered across America and Europe and Palestine. He documented the Passover Seder inside the concentration camp. There was no matzah, no wine, no freedom, just scraps of food and whispers of ancient prayers from memory. The complete letter, translated by my father, Gerald Weiss, can be found on my website, and it's also available from the Leo Baeck Institute for the Study of German Jewish Culture and History. The Holocaust killed 6 million Jews and 5 million others, including Roma, LGBTQ plus people, political prisoners, people with disabilities, and Slavic civilians. Never again became a vow passed from generation to generation. But here's the thing. It must mean never again for everyone. Today in the United States, we are witnessing disturbing parallels to past injustices. Government policies have increasingly targeted immigrants, refugees, and marginalized communities. We are witnessing the rise of authoritarian tactics. When human beings are denied basic rights under the law, we are not just failing, we are reenacting the very patterns we swore to never repeat. When due process and free speech is stripped away and people are denied basic protections, we are not merely failing to uphold American ideals, we are echoing the very tools that past authoritarian regimes used to oppress and dehumanize people. Jewish ethics do not ask us to be neutral. They ask us to remember, to protest, and to act. If our freedom means anything, it must lead us to fight for the freedom of others. So let us remember our ancestors who marched out of Egypt, and let us honor those who made seders in the shadows of death, and recognize the suffering in Gaza and all around the world. And let us commit not just to telling the ancient stories, but to the story of our actions that future generations will tell their children. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Sonia?
Well, welcome, Marlena. It's good to see you. You look good. I hope everyone who celebrated Easter had a good holiday weekend. It was spring break, so last week, so I think a lot of kids were able to enjoy the holiday, and they get back to school tomorrow, so good luck with that. I know my kids were not very happy to go back to school after 11 days. I want to thank the Muslim Center of Greater Princeton for inviting us for the Eid celebration last week. I think last week we also had the Hindu families celebrated Vishu, so there were a lot of holidays that that happened this past week. So I just want to wish everyone happy holidays for that. I just want to make a mention of a few dates to just save the dates. For May 24th, West Windsor Gives Back is hosting their annual cricket tournament. On June 20th is Dive Into Summer at Waterworks. And September 27th is Mayor's Ball. For any track and field enthusiasts, High School North team is hosting Coaches Classic on May 3rd. There will be over 15 teams coming to our school grounds for the meet. So if you're interested, the event starts at 2:00 at High School North. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sonia, and congrats to Addie. He's been doing really well this year.
Yes, he did break his personal record last week, so he had a very good week. He had 3 meets this week. He had 3 more coming up this coming week and next week. So it's going to be a busy next couple of weeks of meets. He's hoping he can get to Penn Relays, which is this coming weekend. So we'll know that in a couple of days. But he did make officially, he made the varsity team.
That's good. Yeah,
Yes.
great. Congratulations.
Martin?
Yes, just wanted to say happy holidays, as my council colleagues have mentioned, to those who celebrated Holy Week, Good Friday, Passover, and Easter. Obviously, that is a great spiritual and religious time for everyone. And I just wanted to also touch a little bit on today's temperament and times, as Councilman Dan has mentioned, politically, socially, the protests that are going on. There's a lot of divisiveness that's going on in this nation right now. It's kind of a reoccurrence of the 60s. I was not born in the 60s, but as a historical person who studied history, and grandfather was very involved in the civil rights movement, we're seeing a lot of repeat, as Councilman Dan has said, and unfortunately. So this is a crucial time in our democracy as a nation and how we are looked at in this world. I just say to those within this community, and I've been pushing it, as you know, repeatedly over and over and over again, for us to have a greater respect and understanding for one another. It's great to stand to your true core and beliefs, while at the same time respecting everyone's culture, everyone's beliefs, everyone's identity, everyone's humanity. And we have to get back to a point locally and as well as a state and nation where humanity is at the forefront and unification is needed. The divisiveness that you see in the media, that you see on TV, politically or not, is not getting us anywhere. So I just want us as a community to be more communal. And I think that's what we need to do. There's so much pointing finger at others, and there's so much sides in this nation and has been for many, many years. I think if each and every person spent more time collectively or individually working amongst their local community for each other and for the betterment of each other, I think you spend less time pointing fingers, talking about other political parties or other persons in office, whether local, state, or national. So I think that's my charge to our community, is that we spend more time looking at self and self-identifying ourselves in terms of what we can do for our community, what we can do for our neighbor, what we can do for the next generation, our children, and how we can show them how we all should be behaving, how we all should be acting, instead of spending so much time on others and so much time pointing out a negativity of another person. It's time for us to put forth positivity within ourselves and within our own families and our community. And we all have that great opportunity right here, because we talk about living in an incredible, diverse, mentally, culturally, ethnically community, while at the same time, we have so many opportunities to do just that. So I just see a lot of stuff going on in the nation, a lot of stuff going on protesting wise, and freedom and liberties is what we all believe in. But at the same point in time, we just have to be more respectful of each other. And as we just got through celebrating so many different religious and spiritual holidays, I think we need to obviously take that to heart and do what each and every one of our religions and spiritual teachings have taught us, and that's humanity. That's love and respect for each other, love and respect for your neighbor, respecting each other's ethnicity, backgrounds, culture, experiences. I think that's where we are headed in terms of positivity. So I just want to see a lot more positivity, not only nationwide, but also locally where we have that opportunity, and less time spent on the nation, but more time as well spent on what we can do for each other as a community. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very, very great sentence, Martin. One thing was, first robotics was mentioned. It's probably one of the top types of programs that you could put kids into, not even just technical kids that are into advertising, kids that are into business. There's room on teams for all kinds of kids. Sorry. And I've had the pleasure of having been to the World Championships on 3 different times. I've coached robotics for something like 8 years. And if you've never seen kids going through the different levels, you have to go through locals, sometimes there's super regionals, there's regionals, watching them going through each of these levels, and when they win a spot on the next level, the excitement, going to that next one, going to the World Championships, seeing people from all over the world, kids from all over competing, working together. It's just a beautiful thing to watch kids that are not just sitting and programming, but they're actually seeing something that moves from it. And they're also working with each other, even the people that they're playing against. That's the spirit of cooperation that was started with FIRST. And it's just been a wonderful thing to see that kind of thing, to be able to bring teams through that. I've also done some judging at some competitions too, and to see the kids competing from all different sides. So I've spent a good piece of my life working with FIRST, and it's probably been some of the most rewarding time that I can ever, want to talk about. Anyway, I would like to give condolences to all our Catholic residents, Roman Catholic residents, and friends on the loss of Pope Francis. I think everybody's spoken a little bit about him. If you look at his life, it was an amazing journey of faith. From Rio de Janeiro, I believe he grew up in, and how he was able to rise up in the church and do the types of things he was able to do from a very, very humble beginnings. I hope everyone enjoyed all the holidays over the last month. In addition to my family Passover Seder, I attended with my colleagues here an Eid celebration with the Muslim Center, and I helped out at our fun West Windsor Lions Club annual Easter egg hunt. For me, this was just another week in West Windsor, but this type of thing is something much of the world can only dream about. And as my colleague Martin has said, the more we can do those types of things, the more we can work together. I think the more we can show others what to do, show our children what to do, and be part and parcel with our neighbors with how to get along. Last week, I attended another meeting of the Assun Pink Watershed Working Group, run by the Watershed Institute. We're trying to get all the towns in the watershed to work together to not only meet the MS4 requirements, but to make real improvements in both water quality and stormwater handling to help prevent flooding. I'm hopeful that a fair cooperative effort can be put together both here and in the Millstone watershed area. I want to thank Mayor Marathi for encouraging our engineering department to be part of this effort. West Windsor's been in the forefront in encouraging the success of this joint endeavor. The Historical Society of West Windsor, which we just talked about, has formed Revolution West Windsor to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence next year. Want to encourage everybody to be part of that logo contest. No Anybody can try drawing. Take a look. There's, the requirements are online. No, you cannot ask ChatGPT to draw your thing. We made sure to put that in there. We want your original design, and I think we're going to come out with a terrific logo. The contest started yesterday, and we're looking forward to seeing the logos. Please check the new Revolution West Windsor website for that. And as Linda mentioned, we're working to get a presentation and resolution at the next council meeting to officially become associated with Revolution, New Jersey. Associated, but we're not going to be a subsidiary. We have our own Revolution West Windsor. I remember celebrating the 200th anniversary. Yeah, I was around in the 60s. In 1976, and I'm excited to be part of the, I'm going to try this now, semi-quincentennial. Okay, on a more, not as happy note, West Windsor will not have an early voting location for the June primary, but we are working on the priority of getting one for the November election. So thanks to everybody who's been taking part of that, and especially Allison, who's been in touch with a number of people. The mayor, Linda, and I have made several presentations to the county and Board of Elections. Everyone seems to be in agreement that this should happen, but it's a matter of money. The county executive said at the county budget hearing that the county budget reflects our values. Few values are more important than fair access to voting. So we will continue to pursue this right for West Windsor voters. Allison, do you have anything to add here?
Like administration noted, the 2025 Memorial Day Parade is on Monday, May 26th. More information is on the website, but if you or your organization is interested in marching, please contact the clerk's office so we can get you signed up. The date of the primary election this year is changed to June 10th. The vote by mail ballots will be sent by the Mercer County Clerk's Office to everyone on the permanent vote by mail list beginning the week of April 19th. We now have the mail-in ballot box open until 8 p.m. on primary election day. The box is located between the senior center and the municipal building. Please see the township website election page for more information and important election dates and deadlines. Okay.
Thank you. Consent agenda?
Resolutions 2025-R109 endorsing the application for membership to the New Jersey State Firemen's Association for Arvid Sandala of the West Windsor Volunteer Fire Company Number 1. 2025-R110 endorsing the application for membership to the New Jersey State Firemen's Association for Jorg A. Setolo of the Princeton Junction Volunteer Fire Company. January 15th, 2025, reorganization meeting as amended. January 27th, 2025, business session as amended. February 10th, 2025, business session as amended. Bills and claims.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to pull anything? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Gauss,
Yes.
Chevers,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes. And recommendations from administration and council clerk?
2025-R111, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a professional services agreement with Clark Captain Hintz for professional architectural services for the 2025 restoration project at the historic Shanks Farmstead for $20,700. 2025-R112, authorizing the business administrator to purchase replacement scanners for the clerk's office and replacement iPads for the construction office from SHI International Corp. Under the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance Contract CK04, subcontract 24-38 with the County of Bergen for $34,994.26. 2025-R113, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a professional services agreement with Trek Environmental and Surveying LLC for land surveying services for the preparation of boundary and topographic survey for monumentation and line marking West Windsor Township Open Space Block 11.01, lots 15 and 20, $13,690. 2025-R114, authorizing the business administrator to execute change order number 1 final for work completed as part of the 2022 roadway improvement program with Earl Asphalt, Inc., adjusting the original construction scope and quantities of the original contract amount of $1,935,313.13 to a revised amount of $2,063,839.45.
Does anybody wish to pull anything? No? Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 2025-R111 through 2025-R114.
Can I get a second?
Second,
Roll call, please.
Gauss.
yes.
Gevers.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes. There's 2 ordinances. I'm going to ask the mayor to give a little summary of just what these are about before we go ahead. That the 2 ordinances are related to each other.
First one, you want me to read the first one?
Why don't you read the first one and then I'll let him do that.
2025-06, an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 200, Land Use, Part 5, the Princeton Junction redevelopment plan, regulatory provisions, Article 34, Land Use Controls, Section 200-268 of the Township Code of the Township of West Windsor to amend the RP9 Princeton Junction redevelopment plan district.
Thanks, Andrea. So when I became mayor back in 17, one of the goals was to get rid of all areas that are dilapidated and have been ignored for over 30 years. I mean, some of the areas, there's that blue mammoth structure behind Ellsworth. We have approved a project for that. Hasn't quite moved as fast as I would have liked, but one of these days that structure is going to be replaced and something much better than that. The second area was one across from McCaffrey's, all those old houses that are unoccupied and falling apart. We have approved a project for that site as well. The company that got approval did sell it to somebody else. So we are talking with the new owner, trying to get that project moving. The third area was the parking garage that the school district was using right at intersection of Wallace Road and 571. Mayor Shea asked the school district to move out of that, hoping to use the space for something better. But it has been sitting like that for many, many years. Since I became mayor, I did talk to a few people who had shown interest in that, in doing some project at that property, but giving the land constraints and given the fact that the land is contaminated, it was very difficult to get somebody to do it. So we struck a deal with the West Windsor Parking Authority, and the Parking Authority is going to build a parking lot that can be used for multi-purpose parking lot, not just for parking, but that can be used for community activities over the weekend. Food trucks, maybe small garden there, and so on. So this ordinance is to make that possible. We are adding parking lot as a possible use and including it in the redevelopment area, which makes the development lot easier. Then we will have a agreement with the parking authority, and we will jointly do the project. And that area, with all the other projects going on around that area, we will eventually have really a downtown to talk of. The Avalon project should be finished by end of this year. The county has promised to bid out the improvements to 571, at least between Cranberry and Alexander Road this summer. So that area is going to start looking nicer and something closer to downtown that people have been talking about for a very long time. So I would encourage the council to introduce the ordinance and approve the ordinance, and then there will be several other measures coming to the council to approve the agreement with the parking authority, and then whatever other modifications to the ordinance that may be required once the use is finalized.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to introduce this ordinance, please?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call?
Gauss,
yes.
Chevers.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes.
Public hearing will be May 19th, 2025. 2025-07, an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 200 Land Use, the Princeton Junction redevelopment plan of the Township Code of the Township of West Windsor by modifying the RP9 district.
May I have a motion to introduce?
Motion to introduce?
Second,
Roll call?
Gauss.
yes.
Chevers.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes.
Public hearing will be May 19th, 2025.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to open up for the additional public comment. Is there anybody who would like to make public comment? Seeing none, I will close the second public comment and go into council reports. Martin, would you like to start?
Sure. Yes, Human Relations, in conjunction with the Rec Department, have a tentative date for the first West Windsor Community Cookout. The cookout will be free for all of our residents in the community. They plan on having food trucks and sports games. Still working on some of the details. They will also provide yoga classes, traditional Indian games, dance groups, potentially to teach dance to our residents. So there'll be an abundance of programs and activities for the families. As of right now, the community cookout is scheduled, West Windsor Community Cookout is scheduled for Saturday, June 14th from 12 to 4 p.m. at Community Park.
Okay,
Thank you.
and just to clarify, the food at the food trucks are, you buy your own, correct?
Not free,
Right,
correct.
right.
The event is free,
Okay.
but the food has to be purchased, correct.
So, right, food is purchased, so there's no, so it's not food available. People can bring their own
Correct,
or buy, correct?
correct,
Thank you.
correct.
Sonia?
Parking Authority met on April 9th. The police department reported 47 calls this past month, out of which 4 were first aid and 3 calls were for hit and run, and there were 2 suspicious activity calls. A big discussion on flooding was discussed. The flooding season is coming up. Parking Authority is having tough time with their insurance company because the insurance company wants to know what the business across the street, Schlumberger, is doing or helping to do with the flooding issues. But Parking Authority is having a hard time getting connected with them. So they're hoping Township could help them connect with the business. The fence along Wallace lot is complete. It's also sprayed with this material that helps with any graffiti if done to be just washed with water. Bus depot project was also discussed in length, and the ordinance that Mayor just explained was discussed. There will be few other resolutions coming in front of council soon so that they can apply for grants and stuff. So that's pretty much it. Affordable housing has not met since we met last. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Dan?
Neither the school board or the Recreation Commission met since our last meeting.
Thank you. Linda?
Shade Tree Commission meets this Wednesday, April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. in the municipal building. And as I mentioned earlier, the annual Arbor Day celebration is this Saturday, April 26th at the Ron Rogers Arboretum.
Thank you. I'm sure we're all looking forward to it. Environmental Commission met on April 10th. Simi Kaur presented an AI-based program she's developing that will help residents with recycling. Elliot Gordon presented some information on gas-powered blowers, and the EC will look to continue to look at ways to implement alternatives. The EC worked on items for the next submission to Sustainable Jersey, which are due in late May. And the next meeting is going to be on May 8th. Okay. Are there any additional administration updates? No, thank you, and welcome back. Allison, anything else?
Nothing else?
Okay, there's no need for a closed session, so unless someone has anything, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Salute.
moved.
Good. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:45. Thank you, everybody.